Yesterday's breakout seems like it could actually be the real deal, and I'm specifically looking at volume. We've got huge volume on this breakout. In fact, yesterday we had the biggest ETF day, or the second biggest ETF day ever. We had $886 million flow into the ETFs, and I'm trying to contain my excitement, but it's very hard to contain my excitement when altcoins are doing this before the breakout is confirmed. And if the breakout actually does get confirmed, then specifically when it comes to altcoins, you need to look at two ecosystems. One of them is really obvious. The other one, I think it caught most of us by surprise, and I think it's still got a long way to go. So I think what we're going to do today is we're going to look at the breakout. We're going to identify whether or not the breakout is real and if it's going to continue. If it is going to continue, then we need to get into the altcoins and specifically the ecosystem that caught us by surprise, because I think it caught a lot of people by surprise. And if it is, then you're still early, guys. You're still early. So listen, it's a absolutely beautiful green day. I've got a lot to do today. Let's get this show on the road, guys. There's so much to do. Whoa. Someone says you're already baked. I'm not baked. I'm just on a high. How can I not be on a high? How do I not be on a high when you got GUMMY now at $122 million market cap? Guys, I warned you yesterday on the show. I said to you guys, GUMMY is going for a run. Did you put on your running shoes to go running with GUMMY, or were you just a spectator? I warned you guys. I told you guys, I know GUMMY is going for a run. We're doing a spaces after the show today. Go to the GUMMY account and make sure you're a part of it. I don't know if you saw, GUMMY tweeted this yesterday, where you had Iggy's mother token at $100 million market cap. And I looked at this and I said, as a community, we can't be weaker than the mother community. I mean, I know she's got a lot of followers. She's got 7.6 million followers, but we are crypto degens. We are the most powerful community in the world. There's no way that we're going to let Iggy beat us. And I think that right now we're actually over, let's just see who's currently winning the thing. So GUMMY's on $122 million market cap. Let's quickly just see Iggy's mother token. I mean, would you rather be part of the GUMMY community or the mother community? Okay, they're on $100 million market cap. So I think right now GUMMY's in the lead. All right, listen, we've got a lot to do today. But before we do, we need to get down to some very serious business. I made the LFGO community a deal. I said, look, they said that they're going to start sending me LFGO tokens into my wallet. I said, you know what? Whatever you send to my wallet, I'm going to buy 50% more than you give me, because I can't just accept free tokens. It just doesn't sit right with me that I'm going to get free tokens. So now I have to actually execute what I promised. And you can see that if you look at the wallet, let me just make sure I've got the right wallet plugged in. I don't want you guys tracking every one of my addresses. I know we've got an open relationship, but we've got to draw the line somewhere. So as you can see, they sent me $98,756 worth of LFGO tokens. I guess I've got to stick to my side and I've got to buy 50% more now. So I've got $50,000 in this wallet. I'm going to click on $50,000 of LFGO. Holy shit, look at this price impact. Okay, I'm not gonna, should I just smash it with like one green candle? What do you guys say? Should I smash it? I'm going to just smash it, bro. I'm going to be irresponsible. And I'm going to just smash it. I think I just smashed it. I smashed it. Okay, let's see. Bang, the transaction should go through. Confirming transaction. Bang, I've just bought my 50,000. I would say to the LFG community, listen, we are even Stevens now. I've committed, I've done my commitment. Let's just wait for the transaction to go through. Oh, swap failed. Okay, so we're going to have to do it in smaller increments, or I'm going to have to increase my, let me just increase my slippage tolerance, and then that will get that out the way. Let's go to 3% slippage tolerance. There we go. And let's see if that works. I will swap it now. Let's see if it'll work. I have to, I'm the type of person that loves, you see, look at all the guys front running me. I'm the type of person that if I make a commitment to do something, I take it very seriously. Unlike Josh, who's supposed to get a tattoo because he lost the bet. He doesn't take his bet seriously. Anyway, that transaction is confirming. While the transaction is confirming, guys, if there's ever swap success, I've just bought $50,000 of LFGO. I've stuck to my word, LFGO community. You all know my token. I now hold $150,000 of your token. Make sure you do me proud, guys. Make sure you do me proud. Make sure you explode and you grow this community. I think you guys are one of the strongest communities in the world. Anyway, if there's ever been a good day to subscribe to this channel, it is today. So smash the like button, subscribe to this channel. As I said to you guys before, we are, I think, the fastest growing crypto media channel. Guys, do you remember on the weekend, we had 803,000 subscribers. We got 816,000 subscribers already today. That just shows you how we are pumping, how this channel is absolutely starting to pump. You want to be part of it. Smash the subscribe button, smash the like button. Let's go. Let's talk about the breakout that I think may be actually the real breakout. So let's quickly just look at where we are now. If you look at Bitcoin, it's actually, if you look at the markets now, it's actually a tale of two cities. It's actually a tale of two things. On the one hand, you look at Bitcoin finally getting a breakout. Now, I'm scared to get too excited because there is a chance that this tweet here is correct. And he says, look, open interest increased by more than 2 billion in the last 2 days while walking into spot resistance. Now, when he talks about spot resistance and open interest, what he's saying is that what the degens are doing is they aping into this, and the resistance here is at the all-time high. But the reality is that, why am I struggling to keep my excitement? I'll show you why I'm struggling to keep my excitement and why I think that this breakout is actually the real deal. So look here, we are now 3.4% away from the Bitcoin all-time high. When we break this, Bitcoin goes into price discovery. Now, we've been challenging this all-time high a few times. And we've always been rejected. And there is a chance that we will get rejected. But there are a couple of things that are showing me that maybe we won't get rejected this time. And if we do get rejected this time, maybe we will go up to the next level very quickly. The first thing that I'm looking at is, as I said, you have the ETF flows. And if you look at the ETF flows, in the last 15 days, the ETF flows have been like pretty negligible. But yesterday, we had the second biggest ETF inflow. We had $886 million flowing into the ETFs. Now, why am I getting so excited about that? Because we had a period of calm. And in that period of calm, everyone kind of said, look, the first phase of the Bitcoin ETF inflows is kind of finished. And then it almost feels like if we can sustain these ETF inflows. Now, again, I'm saying if we can sustain. One inflow, 1 day of good inflows doesn't, for me, make it enough to say that I'm convinced. But if we get another day of good inflows, and we must all look at the charts today, at the inflows today. But if we get a second day of good inflows, and as I say, yesterday was the second highest inflow ever for the ETF, then why I think it's very exciting is because we may actually be getting into the second stage or the second wave of the ETF inflows. The first wave of the ETF inflows was the beginning. It was people dipping their toes into the water. It was like almost like, it's like when you buy a token. You want to see how, if the token starts going up. If it starts going up, it gives you conviction in what you're doing. And then we get on to the next phase. BlackRock said that there's going to be 2 phases of ETF inflows. The first phase was going to be the small family offices, the small retail investors, the bigger investors. The second phase was going to be real ETF inflows from pension funds, from endowment funds, from university funds, from stuff like that. Andrew Kang says, and listen, if it doesn't happen today, it's going to happen pretty soon, but this could be the beginning of the wave 2. Now, wave 2 is much bigger than wave 1. So what's going to give me conviction that this is actually happening? What's going to give me conviction this is actually happening is I want to see 1 or 2 more days of big ETF inflows, another 886 million. I want to try and understand what caused all of a sudden this crazy spike in ETF inflows. How come on all the other days it was 45, 28, 48, 48? How come that's what happened? And all of a sudden we're getting an 886. Did BlackRock just get one big buyer? But it wasn't only BlackRock. It was all the ETFs that had good days. So are we now going through a second phase of ETF inflows? For me, if we are, that is exceptionally exciting. Specifically, why? Because when we talk about Bitcoin and we talk about when we talk about crypto and Bitcoin, the one thing that we talk about is its correlation to the M2 money supply, the growth in global liquidity. And if you look at this chart here, it shows you that right now global liquidity's had that breakout. Remember, we spoke about that breakout, and Peter Brand said it's the most amazing chart that he had seen that day. It's the breakout of the money supply. And it looks like this whole thing is actually playing out now, where the money supply is actually starting to increase, and therefore we're getting increased liquidity. And you know what happens when we get increased liquidity? Well, when we get increased global liquidity, more liquidity comes into crypto. And when we get more liquidity coming into crypto, it pushes up the prices. Now, which prices does it push up? Well, to push up the price of Bitcoin, you need a lot of money because Bitcoin's over $1 trillion asset. But just look at what a small move in Bitcoin. If you look at today's move in Bitcoin, Bitcoin's up actually 0.32% if you look at the charts here. But just look at what that's done to the altcoins. Just look at Stacks. I actually took a Stacks position to $2.26. Look at Uniswap, 16.5% up today. Casper, the one we spoke about yesterday, almost at 19 cents, right? So if you look at what's going on here, you'll see why I'm struggling to contain my excitement. I feel like if we can get one more day of good ETF inflows, and that money flows into crypto, I think that pushes Bitcoin above the all-time high. And if we break it above the all-time high, now, again, I don't think we're going to break through the all-time high at one tap. I think we'll tap it, we'll go down, we'll tap it, we'll go down, and then bang, we'll just go way through it. You'll remember that when we were tapping 70,000, I said, it's like we're tapping 70, we went down, we tapped 70, we went down, we tapped 70, and then eventually we just break through because we keep chipping away at the resistance. Now, I said to you, the reason why I'm struggling to contain my excitement around Bitcoin is specifically around the ETF inflows and specifically around the money supply increasing at the rate that it's increasing and liquidity increasing at the rate that it's increasing. Now, if that is the case, that's good for Bitcoin because the institutions are going to come in and they're going to buy Bitcoin. Now, if Bitcoin goes up by 1 or 2% and the altcoins are doing this, and right now, when I look at the altcoin numbers, retail ain't here. There's no one here. I know from our YouTube views, and I look at these YouTube views, I know from exchange volume and from perpetuals volume, retail isn't here yet. You know when they're going to come in? They're going to come in specifically for the next part of the bull market. They're going to come in when we actually get really aggressive in terms of the bull. Now, let me just go back to that chart. They're going to come in when we get really aggressive or to the really aggressive part of the bull market. But right now, there's no one here. This is the driest retail period I've seen for a while, and we have our finger on the pulse when it comes to the amount of retail. Why do we have our finger on the pulse? Well, number one, we get the YouTube views. YouTube views is a direct indicator to show you whether or not retail is here. The second thing that we get is we get the data from our partner exchanges, right? And the data from our partner exchanges just says that most of the traders from the last cycle aren't back. New traders aren't signing up at a crazy pace. So these moves in altcoins are just us shifting from one place to another. What's going to happen when retail comes in? And I mean, retail is going to come in, no doubt. They always come in when the price starts to go up. Once we have the breakout here, like this section over here, once we have this breakout, this real breakout over here, that is when retail are going to come, and they're going to be here in full force, okay? The other thing that you got to remember is that we actually have another ETF on the way. Like, I know a lot of us seem to forget, but guys, in a month, there's going to be another ETF here. So we have one ETF. That ETF has attracted $20 billion in 137 days, broke the record, destroyed the record. In like 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks, maybe a month, another ETF. But this time it's an altcoin-driven ETF. It's not a Bitcoin-driven ETF. What's that going to do to the altcoin market? I mean, the answer is simple. We're going to get altcoins exploding. Now you got to ask yourself a question. And it's not too late, by the way, it's not too late. What were you doing during the period of boredom? What were you doing during the period when the market was moving sideways? Because I saw this tweet from 𝗙𝗥𝗢𝗡𝗦, and he says in this tweet, which I think is a very good tweet, he says, I think so many people are going to miss the massive altcoin opportunities. We've got a frothy altcoin season cooking right now. I don't see anywhere near enough hype, and we'll talk about that in a second. He said, smart money's been accumulating, dumb money's been speculating. Because I thought about this, and I thought like, am I smart money or am I dumb money? Because I've actually been doing both. And I actually think that the smartest money has actually done what we've been doing. And what have we been doing? On the one hand, we've got our 10 highest conviction crypto bets. And I hope that you've been accumulating as much money as possible into those 10 highest conviction bets. But at the same time, I also hope you've been having fun. If you haven't found your dopamine hit in the 10 highest conviction plays, I hope you've been playing altcoins. And if you have been playing altcoins, I really hope that you've caught the right altcoins and that you've made life-changing money, because the truth is that if you take 2 or 3% or 4% of your portfolio and you use 2, 3, 4, 5% of the portfolio and you use that to try and make life-changing money, and I know a lot of people have made life-changing money. A lot of people have come to me specifically on GUMMY and they've said, like, you know, we've made life-changing money on GUMMY. Everyone's saying it's running. Is it running? It is. Wow, 100. Okay, great, amazing. We're having a GUMMY Spaces later. I think there's a lot of expectations for the GUMMY Spaces later. I think you should join. If you want to join, just go to GUMMY's Twitter. I think if we, Josh, can you ask Jules to pin the? Yeah, let's pin. I can't pin it, but ask if she'll pin that announcement. That's happening today. All right, so that is what's going on. Right now, as I said, the altcoins going absolutely crazy. I did want to take this short on Notcoin, but I didn't take it because I'm too scared to go up against DWF. They are the one market maker that really scare me. You could get caught on the wrong side of DWF in a short. It's probably the end of your life. I see Supers running. We spoke about the gaming narrative a few days ago. I see Trust Wallet running, but I think we should talk about that today. There's a lot that's running, and specifically what I want to talk to you about is I want to talk to you about two ecosystems that I think are pretty obvious that are going to run. Okay, so the first ecosystem that is going to run is really obvious. The other one maybe not so obvious, and I think the other one's caught a lot of people by surprise. And because it's caught a lot of people by surprise, then I kind of think that if it has caught a lot of people by surprise, maybe people are underexposed. And if people are underexposed, that means that you've still got an opportunity to get in early. You know what I mean? Like early. You're not the first person, but you know, they say the early bird catches the flu. You need to, it's the second one. You're the second or the third person. You're not there too early, but you may actually be there on time. So let's talk about the two ecosystems that I think you need to look at today, okay? The first ecosystem, pretty obvious. We spoke about it yesterday. I told you I'd do a full show on it. Truth is, I don't really feel like doing a full show on it because it's like just so much to talk about. But we can talk about it now if you want to talk about it. The first one is, of course, real world assets. So the real world asset narrative is about to explode. Why is the real world asset narrative about to explode? Well, today there is a hearing which was commissioned by Patrick McHenry. Now, remember, he's very much pro-crypto. There is a hearing around how tokenization of real world assets will facilitate efficient markets. Now, you can see it's a very bullish hearing, right? How will it facilitate efficient markets? They're looking for the positive here. They're not trying to catch anyone out. This will be an advertisement for real world assets and for blockchain and asset tokenization. And you're getting a lot of announcements around real world asset tokenization. In fact, I think there was an announcement yesterday by BlackRock where they said they're going to open a parallel stock exchange. I think they said it was going to be in Texas, if I'm not mistaken. So you've got people like Carlos Domingo, who is from Securitize. Securitize is the company that tokenized the BlackRock fund, and BlackRock has an investment stake in them. And they're all going to be testifying at this real world asset summit. And that's going to happen. It's actually starting now. So for the real world asset narrative, essentially, we made the spreadsheet. We'll drop the spreadsheet for you guys below in the description. You need to look at all the real world asset projects. Now, look, if you're not a real degen, then just go for the basic ones, like things like Chainlink and Axelar. If you want to go more degen, I look at things like Mantra. Mantra's token symbol is OM. It's a Cosmos layer 1 blockchain for assets. But everything that you need is on this spreadsheet. Obviously, there's hundreds of real world asset plays. These are the ones that our researchers have chosen. This is why they've chosen them: Maple, Centrifuge, Goldfinch, TrueFi, Clearpool, Ondo. But if you're going to buy Ondo, just remember that you could drown in tokenomics. We're not big fans of high FDV, low float, but I mean, it is the leader in asset tokenization, so you can't actually write them off. So that's the first narrative that I want you guys to look out for. And to be honest, that's quite an obvious narrative, which we have spoken about for, I don't know, long time already, like 4 days already. We've been speaking about real world assets, and the tokens there have actually started moving. So that's the first one. The second one is not so obvious. And actually, to be honest, most of crypto has actually been asleep on this ecosystem. Why? Because I think most people wrote it off. And I don't know, I've been in crypto long enough to know that when most people write off an ecosystem, when most people say DeFi is dead, when most people say Solana is dead, when most people say an ecosystem is dead, that is the time when you should be looking at the ecosystem, right? That is the time when you should be buying the ecosystem. And there's one ecosystem that was pronounced absolutely dead. But in the background, on the sly, very quietly, it has been going up and going up and going up every day. For a long time. It's just been going up and going up and going up and going up and going up. And finally today, that ecosystem has actually hit an all-time high. It's actually broken out and is now firmly in price discovery. Now, the ecosystem that I'm talking about, for those of you that haven't been following, is BNB. Most people actually wrote off BNB. And they said, look, BNB is CZ and Binance, and CZ is now in jail. He started serving his 4-month sentence. And most people wrote off this ecosystem. But the reality is, I mean, I don't know if you remember, but the one thing that I don't like in crypto is when people do what I call grave dancing, right? So what is grave dancing? Grave dancing is when someone is down, you kick them even further and you kick them even further. And so 𝗙𝗥𝗢𝗡𝗦, and I even said to him, bro, you're so obsessed with Binance. When do you get the time to do anything else? Also, if you're so confident, just take your money out and short. Like don't every day tell us Binance is so bad, it's the end of the BNB token. But then you're so confident, take your money out, put a short. So he would never take his money out and put a short. In fact, he said, look, I'm not going to, I wasn't confident enough to place a short. 𝗥𝗲𝗢𝗡𝗦, another one who said, look, the BNB chart out here looking like CZ's on the end of life or hospice. That was in September, 6 months ago. Okay, well, where are the big naysayers today? Where's everyone? Because BNB is actually at an all-time high. So the truth is, it's caught everyone by surprise because no one's been making a noise about BNB. There hasn't been a lot of hype around BNB. Most people actually wrote off BNB when CZ went to jail. Reality is that this ecosystem has actually been creeping up. Now, what's also interesting about this is that if you think about tokens in the market, how many of the major tokens have actually reached all-time highs? Solana hasn't hit an all-time high. Ethereum hasn't hit an all-time high. Let's actually go through them. So you can see exactly which meme coins I've been looking at for you guys. Hold on. Let's quickly just go here. So let's go to this one over here. So but Ethereum hasn't hit an all-time high. BNB has just hit an all-time high. Solana hasn't hit an all-time high. Lido staked ETH. XRP will never hit an all-time high. Dogecoin hasn't hit an all-time high. TON has hit an all-time high. Cardano will never hit an all-time high. None of them. So BNB is the first of the blockchains to actually hit an all-time high. It's the first one that's actually going into price discovery now. And actually now it's at over $100 billion market cap. So if we look at the market cap of BNB, it's at $107 billion market cap. Now, if you were smart and you were looking at the on-chain data, if you just went to Wormhole and you said, all right, let's just look at the transactions, you can see that the flows from Solana, the degens from Solana have started to move to BNB. I don't know why this internet is so slow, but we will hopefully get right. But most of the inflows from Solana have actually started going into BNB. There we go. So you see, okay, so let's go from transactions, and let's go from Solana. And you can see that most of the transactions have actually been going to BSC in the last 7 days. What does that mean? It means that the meme coin gambling degens who have been speculating on Solana meme coins and number go up on Solana, where are they going now? Well, they're going to BSC. They're going to the BSC chain. And you can also see it. I mean, here's a great visual representation of just watch what happened to BSC in the last 30 days. Watch the flows of money. Watch the flow of money. So let's play it with some music. I can have a sip of my tea. Look at the flows. Look how quickly the flows of BNB go. See, so look at the flows. The flows are absolutely amazing. So if you were looking at the on-chain, you probably would have picked this up. But the reality is that most people didn't pick this up. And what does that mean? Well, it means that the bears are in trouble, and it means that most people actually were caught offsides with this BNB run. I didn't see a lot of Twitter posts. I didn't see a lot of people shilling BNB meme coins, a few. But I still think that it's actually very early if you believe that BNB is going to continue to run. Now look, from a pure technical charting point of view, listen, when you get into price discovery, it's price discovery. Like, it's price discovery. Number two, if you look at this chart, and specifically if you look at BNB versus BTC, right? So you plot the two of them. This is one of the healthiest charts that I've seen. Just look at this uptrend on this chart over here. A huge, healthy chart. Look at that. Okay. Up, going on the trend line. So it kind of looks like this BNB ecosystem will continue to run. Now, if the BNB ecosystem will continue to run, and and people are caught off guard, we may actually be still early for the BNB ecosystem, specifically for the tokens that we want to be looking at, right? That's what I want to be looking at. So remember one thing though, when you're buying into BNB, what are you actually buying? You're buying two things. You're buying an exchange token for the Binance exchange, and you're buying a gas token for BSC chain, which is an EVM chain like Ethereum. Okay, so it's like the token has a dual usage. One, it is the exchange token of the biggest chain in the world, of the biggest exchange in the world by far. In fact, let's quickly just look at the data. So that's the data over there. Look, they went through a slump in terms of market share. They went all the way down to 37.5%. But you can see now that they're on the up and that their market share is actually growing. And that's because what they're doing is that they're cleaning up the exchange. They've got a new CEO here. 𝗥𝗔𝗡𝗦 is a new CEO. He's the exact CEO that you want to achieve compliance. CZ is now sitting in jail for 4 months. He's out of the picture for all intents and purposes. And what 𝗥𝗔𝗡𝗦 is doing is he's actually cleaning up the exchange. You can see you're getting a whole lot of announcements where they're removing a whole lot of pairs. They're removing a whole lot of trading pairs. They are, well, I don't know why it's trying to log me in here, but what they're doing is they're also launching a whole lot of initiatives to make the market more fair. What they did, unlike Coinbase went the clean route from the start, and they grew slower, but they grew more steadily. Binance went the other way around. They went like crazy, listed every single altcoin, went into every single territory, didn't do KYC as well as they should have, and now they're cleaning up, okay? Now, the reality is that I think that Binance will still get away with this and will still remain the biggest or maybe the second biggest exchange in the world. The data is showing us that it will probably remain the biggest exchange in the world for quite a while. And so from an exchange point of view, I would say we're pretty safe there, right? We're pretty safe there. From a chain point of view, look, the tech doesn't excite me. The tech doesn't really excite me. It's EVM tech, but I mean, the usage on the chain is and always actually has been good. So the usage on the chain has always been great. I mean, I'll show you. I'll add some more chains here just so that you can see. So let's add in Matic. Just so I just want to show you guys like usage stats. So Matic. Let's add in Solana ETH. Let's add in AVAX. Avalanche. Let's add in Avalanche. Update. So like you can see that BNB chain is actually quite a big chain, and it has always been a big chain. It's just that a lot of people took their eye off the ball here, right? And so the other thing that I read, and I think it struck something with me, is it's saying, look, on the BNB chain, BNB is nearing its all-time high. The ecosystem, the tokens haven't really moved very much yet. Now remember the one thing about the ecosystem tokens on BNB, most of them are old cycle tokens. Now when I say old cycle tokens where the token circulation is already mostly in circulation. And so you're probably buying into a healthy ecosystem. So with that in mind, what we're doing now is we are preparing a list for you guys of what you should be buying on the BSC chain. But I want to talk to you a little bit about the BSC chain. A lot of people in the comments are asking, they're asking whether or not I'm going to add BSC to my highest conviction bets. Have I done an about turn on BSC in my highest conviction bets? The answer is no. Why not? I think it's reasonable technology. I think that the chain from a technological point of view doesn't have anything that is unique. It is an EVM chain with a closed set of, or not a closed set of validators, but not a lot of validators. And so I think technologically, for me, Solana is just a better piece of technology. So I think when it comes to EVM, for me, Ethereum and the layer 2 are the winners. And when it comes to non-EVM, for me, it's going to be Solana, and I've taken a long shot on Sui, and I've taken a long shot on Phantom. But that said, even though I'm not going to be investing in BNB chain for in my long-term portfolio, and again, like let's just to be clear, again, I'm not saying that I think it's bad. I just think you can't invest in everything. And for me, BNB is not something that I am invested in. And to be honest, like I've probably lost out by not investing in BNB, because BNB has been one of the best performers. And so if you have made a decision to invest in BNB, the ecosystem is probably very, very, very underinvested. And if the ecosystem is very, very, very underinvested, then why not take a punt on the ecosystem? Because you may be actually getting in early. And that's what I want to talk to you about. Let's actually talk about the BNB ecosystem. But just before we do, just a few things, because we're going to get into the BNB ecosystem. I just want to quickly just remind people of a few things. The first thing is, so we have a BitGet trading competition where you can win $5 million, right? And I think a lot of the tokens that I'm going to be buying are tokens on the BNB ecosystem, because this competition on BitGet, I mean, how funny is this? I'm going to be trading BNB tokens, BSC tokens on BitGet exchange. So we entered a team. My wallet is locked and loaded. I've got $10,000 in the wallet. We entered a team. In our team, so far there's 228 people. But now Sheldon and Dylan went and started a team with two of them. They got like 250 people. So now we have to beat them, guys. We have to beat Sheldon and Dylan's team. So what do you need to do? Go to this over here. Sign up with this link if you don't already have an account. And then join the team. Guys, you have 1 day left to join our team. 1 day to join the team. Let's get this number up so we can actually win the trading competition. Also, if you want to win the trading competition, the easiest way to win the trading competition is to sign up to Kyle's Whale School, which I don't see the link here. Will you ask the guys to just put Kyle's Whale School here? And let's sign up to Kyle's Whale School, because it's free and it actually starts tonight. So let's make sure you can still actually get in and you can still actually make Kyle's Whale School. All right, let's get into the list of tokens on BNB. Now, you know the way I look at ecosystems, I'm simplistic. You can invest in a whole lot of things. Specifically if you're a specialist in that field, you can invest in a whole lot of things. I like to keep it simple. Honestly, I like to keep it simple. What's simple? The chain, the SEX, the meme coins, and then one or two like AI coins or casinos. I'm not a big fan of lending and borrowing. I'm not a big fan of complicated protocols. Of course, you can make a lot of money on these complicated protocols, but I'm not a big fan. I'm not a big fan. For me, it's simple. And so let's look at the tokens that the researchers recommended that we actually look at. So number one, you want to invest in a DEX. Invest in PancakeSwap. PancakeSwap is the biggest DEX on BSC. That's PancakeSwap. Let's just go look at what the all-time high is. So look, BNB is at an all-time high, and the biggest DEX on BNB is still, hold on, I just want to show you how funny this is. Okay. The biggest DEX is still 93% down from its all-time high. And now if you look at it in terms of the recovery, the biggest DEX on BSC is 200% up from its bottom, but it's very, very, very far up from the top. In terms of market share, it has got a total of 12.7% market share in terms of total DEX volume, okay? So the DEX is very healthy. The PancakeSwap DEX is very healthy DEX. They say it's the biggest DEX on BNB. It has introduced revenue sharing. Remember that Uniswap introduced revenue sharing and then they did like an about turn? Well, they actually have introduced revenue sharing. So I would look at the DEX. Not a big fan of the second DEX. That's like investing in Sushi Swap as well. So not a big fan, but I mean, you can look at things like Bakery Swap. So for me, I would go green over here. I would go orange on Bakery Swap, right? Now you can go into things like ThenaSwap, which is the liquidity hub, okay? But this is complicated. You could probably get a high risk return ratio over here. So I'm going to make that orange. Then lending and borrowing. Now look, I'm not a big lending and borrowing fan. But that doesn't mean that it's not a good market to be in. And as the guys say, it's done it 2 times year to date. Despite the lack of attention, they do have, their TVL has gone up 2 times to date. They're a highly secure networking protocol. So yeah, I mean, it doesn't excite me. Then you got Burger Cities. Burger Cities is it's the play to earn game and the DEX. Again, play to earn, yes, like play to earn, going to be buying it. Then you've got all these other things. That you've got the Launchpad. Do I want to get into a Launchpad? I'm not a big fan of Launchpads. I'm not like the biggest fan of getting into Launchpads because I don't think the IDO season has actually started yet. When the IDO season actually starts, I'm going to start looking at Launchpads. Then you got PlayBucks. PlayBucks is the Web3 entertainment platform that includes shop to earn, walk to earn, etc., etc. I'm not. These are not my narratives. I'm going into the sex. I'm going into a gaming play, and then I'm going into meme coins, and I'm going into AI. That's like pretty much where I'm going. Now, when it comes to BNB and it comes to meme coins, you've kind of got two buckets of meme coins. Because I know you guys are only here for the meme coins. There's two buckets of meme coins. There's the old meme coins and there's the new meme coins. Now, remember what I said about meme coins. I don't think that a meme coin can ever remain or live for more than one cycle unless it actually becomes a product. So meme coins create community and casino first, and they introduce a product later. Whereas the protocols introduce a product and then introduce casino and community. So when it comes to meme coins, you've got two buckets of meme coins. One bucket is the old meme coins. Meme coins like 𝗥𝗏𝗡𝗏 and meme coins like CUMROCKET. So those are two meme coins. 𝗥𝗏𝗡𝗏's got a market cap of $3.3 billion. CUMROCKET has one of $14.4 million. Now, I just want to show you the charts of CUMROCKET. I wonder if you can even search CUMROCKET here. Here we go. There's CUMROCKET. So look what it's done. It hasn't recovered a lot. It hasn't even recovered to its previous highs because everyone got caught off guard here. It's the same thing with all the other meme coins here. People got caught off guard here. So for me, the old meme coins, you got 𝗥𝗏𝗡𝗏 and CUMROCKET. 𝗥𝗏𝗡's had a massive run because DWF invested in 𝗥𝗏𝗡𝗏. There were a whole lot of announcements. I wonder if I've got some announcements to actually show you. But DWF actually invested in 𝗥𝗏𝗡𝗏, and they've made a huge noise. And 𝗥𝗏𝗡𝗏 is, I would say, the biggest meme coin on BNB. And I mean, just look at 𝗥𝗏𝗡𝗏 here. 𝗥𝗏𝗡𝗏 is like one of the best meme coins, full stop. There it is. It's done very, very, very well. But to me, again, and maybe you can take a chance on something like CUMROCKET because it is quite a well-known meme. I don't know if you guys saw this, but Elon's once like tweeted about it. He's like, CUMROCKET to the moon. This was in 2021. So you can see it's a very old cycle. But now it's becoming like a bot and a whole lot of other things, you know. There's an NFT marketplace launch. There was an NFT marketplace launch, etc. So they're launching technology into their thing. The next category that I would actually look at is the new meme coins. And there's three meme coins. The one that I like the most because they have the very powerful community is the Baby Bonk community. So you know that they sponsored some of our shows here. I got to know the Baby Bonk community quite well. So here we go. I wonder if you can actually see the price here. So you can see that the run around Baby Bonk hasn't yet started if we get a continuation of the pump. So for me, I would take something like, if you want to go one of the old memes, I'd go with CUMROCKET. I would go with Baby Bonk. And then you could probably choose some dogs and some cats. So you can choose POSEIDON. POSEIDON is the cat on the BNB ecosystem. Let's see if we can find a picture for you of POSEIDON. I'm sure I've got one here. Okay, that's POSEIDON. Or you can go with, that's the POSEIDON website. Again, let's just look at the chart. Let's see where it's taking us to the chart. That's the official meme coin of BNB, someone says. 8.6 million FDV. Just look at the candles, the last two daily candles. See? So that's one that I'd possibly be looking at. Or I'd look at MAUI, I think is MAUI, the official dog of BNB. That is like if you want to go into lending and borrowing and stuff like that, yeah, I mean, feel free. All the stuff is here. But for me, I think just keep it simple. Meme coin, chain, you can go for a game, you can go for an exchange. Then there are two other things that I would actually look at here. The one is Netmind. Netmind is the AI narrative, but again, it's got quite a high FDV. It's got $1 billion FDV. So I'd be a little bit careful getting into $1 billion FDV AI play. But then one which I would look at is actually Trust Wallet. So Trust Wallet is a wallet that was acquired by BNB or by Binance in 2018. If I'm not mistaken, Trust Wallet have over 140 million customers, or 122 million wallets, right? So to me, Trust Wallet is maybe one. If BNB runs, then I think Trust Wallet is actually a very good one to be looking at. So again, in summary, the altcoin market, the altcoin narrative, I think is going to fly if we break out. If we break out and we get the second ETF, altcoins go. If altcoins go for this week, 2 narratives, real world assets. I showed you the list for real world assets. Then you've got the BNB chain, which has caught everyone by surprise. And so you might actually still be earlier than everyone else. There are spreadsheets below. Let me just quickly refresh here and we'll find the spreadsheets for you. Let's quickly just find the spreadsheets for you. The altcoin narrative, I think, is going to... Let's just quickly get that for you guys. Here it is. Ooh. Okay, let's just quickly get it for you guys.
डिसाइड करेंगे किस तरह से आगे बढ़ना है.
चलिए अभी आप अपने परिवार को मिलने जा रहे हैं.
आपको बहुत-बहुत bombarded by someone from India. Okay, so I see Kyle's Well School. Guys, this is your last chance to get free into Kyle's Well School. There's a link here. It starts tonight. Like, you can still make it. You can still make it. Oh man, it says 0000. If you click, I'm sure that you'll actually be able to get in. So that's the first thing. Second thing is what is it? Oh, remember, sign up to our BitGet competition. Join me, and also sign up for. If you want airdrops, remember that Bondex, their season 1 airdrop closes tomorrow, right? Their season 1 airdrop closes tomorrow. So you go to this link over here, and you just Bondex. What Bondex is, it's like a decentralized LinkedIn. And so if you go and update your profile, upload a CV, etc., you actually get points for the airdrop, and you can actually get points for the airdrop. And these guys are doing very, very, very well. So it's probably worth going to look at them. Also, if they're looking for candidates and you refer a candidate, you actually get a referral fee, which is amazing. So you get a referral fee. All right, guys. I feel like I've forgotten something. What have I forgotten here? I think that's it for today. All right, I'll see you guys again later at the Gummies Spaces, okay? Someone says Gummy is exploding. Is it exploding? Yeah, $100 million market cap. I think that's not bad. Okay, amazing. So listen, I'll see you guys again tomorrow. Until then, trade well, my friends.